What is going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives GeoFucks here, and in this video I just want to talk about self-accountability. As I'm getting older, you know, the road to 30, entering my third decade of life, Lord willing, accountability is something that is becoming more and more apparent for me. And the reason being is I'm about to be 30. I can't keep using the same excuses for why I'm not doing what I need to be doing. Case in point, I have Graves' disease, IBS, and Crohn's. With that being said, there are a lot of food items that I should not be eating because it's going to cause a flare-up. It's going to cause a reaction. One of those foods being gluten. Who wants to be bloated and constipated or having nonstop diarrhea because you're eating gluten when you already know that you have an intolerance to it? So you can't blame anybody for why you feel bad when you're eating stuff that's making you sick and you know why. You're not a kid. Grow up. And that's what a lot of us need to hear. You know, you can't keep playing woe is me games and playing the victim to circumstances that you're creating for yourself. Okay. And it's just, it gets really old after a while because a lot of people are like that. You know, they'll just keep coming up with every excuse in the book, always having some reason behind why they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I have to hold myself accountable. I can't complain about feeling sick 24/7 knowing that I'm eating things that's going to cause me to be sick. I'm just, you know what I mean? And that's just one aspect. And it got me thinking about a lot of things. Like, look, y'all, as we get older, people are going to have less, in my opinion, people are going to have less sympathy for you when you keep doing the same thing and having the same outcomes. Right? Like, we all have friends, family members, it may even be ourselves, people in our lives who they're always in crisis, but a lot of their crises are self-imposed crises. Like, they're creating their own problems. And it's so many people who are like that. And, you know, at the very beginning, you know, when it's first happening, you know, you have sympathy, you have empathy, you're trying to help, you're trying to give them resources and support, assistance, what have you. But over time, you notice that this person is always in crisis and it's the same situation every time you talk to them. Yes, you're gonna lose sympathy because you're going to see them for who they are. You know, and there's a lot of people where it's like, look, you're a perpetual victim. And you're a professional victim. You love to stay in victimhood. You know, and if you notice, these are also the same types of people who never can be held accountable. They'll blame it on everything but their own actions and behaviors. And I wanna put, you know, a disclaimer. Yes, mental health plays a major role in why people do the things they do and say the things that they say. This is very true. I am not trying to downplay mental health because it impacts our lives in a very major way. However, there are people who will use their mental health and basically weaponize it and use it as a crutch to justify shitty ass behavior. And people know, this is what gets me. People, for case in point, prime example. People will know that they're bipolar, and then every time they have a flip out, they'll blame it on them being bipolar, yet they know what they're doing. So no, we're not going to, you know, you being bipolar is not going to be a justification for you treating people like shit, being manipulative, and using folks. Okay? Same thing with any other mental health issue. Yes, it's real. Yes, it causes problems. Yes, people have chemical imbalances. But guess what? You can't keep using that as a crutch every time something doesn't go your way. Then you conveniently want to lean on this mental health problem that you have. You know, it's like, come on. Okay, and it's a lot of us where it's like we have to be more accountable for the things that we're saying and doing. We're too old to be doing the majority of the things that we're doing. I mean, literally, every time you turn around, you're in some financial catastrophe, but then you have money to go and do all of these other things, especially when it pertains to having fun and getting lit. But then when it comes to paying your bills, when it comes to making sure that you have food in the refrigerator, a roof over your head, all of a sudden you're broke, you don't know how you're going to make it to the next day, but then all through the weekend, you going out to eat, you going to the bar, you going to clubs, you buying all this extravagant stuff, you know, shoes, clothes, makeup, jewelry, you going to concerts, but then when the bill is due, all of a sudden, it's a financial catastrophe. Come on now. And it's a lot of us out there that need to start taking accountability, need to be disciplined, because you're too old. It's nobody's responsibility to take care of you but yourself. And that's the harsh reality. That's the harsh reality. Because a lot of us would like to think that, you know, we're going to continue to have family, friends, community members support us throughout our entire lives. But if we're going to be completely honest, that's not always realistic. You have to take care of you. And a lot of people have a hard time with taking responsibility and taking accountability and having discipline. My God, you can't buy everything. Sometimes you have to go without. Sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you have to postpone the purchase. Okay, it is what it is. I'll be listening to some of us and I'm like, look, you're just a professional victim. You're always playing victim. You're always in crisis, and it's always woe is me. And it gets old. And I'm going to be real. These are the type of people that I'm going to keep it a buck with you. These are the type of people where as I'm getting older, I'm doing everything in my power to distance myself from them, because they're always playing victim. Every time you talk to them, it's a problem. There's no accountability. They're not self-aware. They refuse to reflect on their behaviors. And it's always something. And then you also notice with these types of people, in many cases, and granted, I don't want to generalize because we are all individuals, and there are always, there's always people that do differ from the general situation. But in my experiences, it doesn't matter how many times you help them, right? You help them out of one bill. You give them money over here. You let them stay with you over here. You refer them to a service that can help them or support that can help them. And it doesn't matter how many times that you're helping them, they're always coming back with the same problem. And that is all you need to know, that this person is not accountable. This person is not responsible. This person is not disciplined. And again, they tend to lack the self-awareness. They will continue to play victim and not see how people are tired. And I'm going to be honest, you get tired of dealing with people that are constantly in a woe as me mindset. It gets old. It is what it is. And for your own mental health, for your own mental sanity, you really do have to put up boundaries and kind of distance yourself. Ain't no kind of to it. You're probably going to have to distance yourself from them, because they're always going to be in the same, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And there's so many people that I know who are like this. And it's just like, I have to hold myself accountable. I can't complain. Like this morning, I was, TMI, too much information, trigger warning. I have to hold myself accountable. I was on the bathroom in the toilet for an hour straight this morning because I had Taco Bell. I know I have a gluten intolerance, and not only just a gluten intolerance, it's fast food. This stuff always makes me sick. You know what I mean? So I can't blame anybody for me having to, be on the toilet, for an hour when I made the decision to eat stuff that I know that I can't eat. I'm almost 30. This isn't anyone else's fault but mine's. And a lot of y'all need to start looking at that. It's your fault. Stop sitting up here pointing the finger at everybody else. It's your fault, and take accountability. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where, hey, there are issues. There's chemical imbalances, social injustices, what have you. But you are not the victim in every single damn situation, and you know that. And that's the point. Take some accountability, folks. I'm out.